At 9:42 a.m., we continue with our broadcast this morning and taking a look ahead at the solidarity with the people of Palestine on Monday, October the 7th, and this will mark 1 year, the anniversary of the beginning of this genocide that is unfolding in Gaza. And now we've seen in the month of October this being extended to Lebanon. But we will continue our support for the people of Gaza, and Gaza will continue resisting. And it's going to be 365 days. And they have done so with patience, with courage, and the ultimate victory will be with the people of Palestine. And as we look ahead at this day, we continue saluting Palestine. We salute its people. We salute their martyrs. We salute the injured, the homeless, the hungry, and also the brave warriors who took the fight deep into enemy territory. And at the end of the day, this victory, together with support, the support of people right across the entire world, humanitarian solidarity organizations, and also here in South Africa, that victory will be magnanimous at some point in time, inshallah. And this is the reason why we are joined by the various solidarity organizations, the various events that are taking place over this weekend and in the build up to the 7th of October on Monday. And we have got on screen with us, we've got Professor Yusuf Chikte, who is with us as well. And shortly we'll be joined by Saydun Nisa Sayed and also SABDS Coalition's Roshan Dadu. But first up, Prof. Yusuf Chikte, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Palestine Solidarity Campaign. And the last time we were in Cape Town, you made that announcement ahead of the activities that are due to take place this weekend in Cape Town.
Thank you. Walaikum salam, and thank you for having me here. Yes, and today, we know it's not only today, yes, it was yesterday, where people had in the Bukap had a major function announcing the march and standing in solidarity with the Palestinians. But we have embarked on a major parliamentary march with our co-organizers, MJC, Al-Quds, youth groups, COSATU, Housing Assembly, the Press Against Apartheid, and an amalgamation of resistance movements, progressive resistance movements. And we're going to march to Parliament tomorrow on the 5th of October from District 6, Hanover Street, along Darling, into Adelaide, the sites of many a struggle in South Africa. And we're going to march onto Parliament, and we're going to demand that South Africa matches its courage at The Hague with the domestic courage that they need to exercise to ensure that we hold Israel accountable. We have an array of speakers. The march is going to start at 10, but it's going to be a very hot day tomorrow. It's going to be 33 degrees. So we encourage people to bring their water with, their sunblock with, their umbrellas with, the Palestinian paraphernalia. The purpose of the march is to ensure that the legislature, that Parliament is behind us in terms of legislation to hold Israel apartheid and with its apartheid policies and apartheid supporters to account. We want Parliament to discuss and debate the matter, the question of Palestine, because it is a danger. The activities of Israel is a danger to international peace. They are a peril. They are a menace to the peace and harmony of nations, and it's reflected in South Africa. What we're asking for is that the Parliament debates the matter, number one. Number two, that they introduce a private member's motion bill so that we can ensure that apartheid is domesticated. What the International Court of Justice has said about Israel being an apartheid state, more so in the occupied territories, for the right of return, for retribution, for the settlements to be dismantled, which are illegal, and what provisional measures say about stopping the carnage and the chaos that they are causing over there. So that is what we are demanding our politicians, our legislature to do. And we hope that this is we're going to protest. October is going to be a month of rolling mass action. We're starting on the 5th. On the 6th, we have activities as well, cavalcades throughout in certain parts of Cape Town. We're going to follow that up on Monday, joining the national day, national strike, and we're going to protest. Al Quds Foundation is going to protest, picket outside of the provincial legislature because they are complicit in supporting Israeli supporters in Cape Town, in the Western Cape, in fact. And then we have a series of actions throughout the month to highlight the plight of the Palestinians and express our solidarity with the Palestinians and to ensure that apartheid doesn't find root here, whether from Israel, and we want to declare South Africa, redeclare South Africa an apartheid-free zone because of the insidious effect of Zionist forces to peddle their supremacy. They are a danger and a threat to us in South Africa as well, trying to curb and curtail the non-racialism that we want to espouse, the unity of the oppressed that we want to espouse, the unity of the land that we want to espouse, and the unity of the resistance towards any attempt to divide and control us here in South Africa. This mirrors what the Palestinians want and what they're striving for: the unity of the land of Palestine, the unity of its people, and the unity of the resistance, and against the influence, the fueling by Zionism of a genocide that we want to stop and stop immediately.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Prof. Let's go to Saydun Anissa Sayed as well. Saydun, uh, as we approach the 7th of October, it's been 365 days of relentless aggression against the people of Palestine, against Gaza, and we see what has been happening of late as well. The West Bank under severe threat at this point in time as well. We know what's taking place in Lebanon, and as an executive member of the KZN Palestine Solidarity Forum, just your thoughts as we look ahead at this weekend, the activities that are planned, and also on Monday, October the 7th, which is the anniversary.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for having us on Salam Media. And I like the process that you have embarked on today is getting all three provinces of KZN together. We want to say, being in Durban, we don't have many of the consuls in the city of Durban or in our province, but we have a line of programs starting today and for the month, like Prof has mentioned. As solidarity activists, it is our duty, one, as South Africans, two, as human rights peace activists, to continue our pickets, boycotts, and campaigns for a free Palestine. So inshallah, today we start with a banner and poster making. We want to get the whole community involved in the work that we do. And so after Jummah, we will do that. But I think many of you are aware that Durban has a Friday for Palestine. Every Friday, irrespective of what the condition is, we stand out in our streets in Durban and surrounding areas, calling for a free Palestine. Supporting Cape Town, we will be having a march tomorrow in Umhlanga. And here also we have people from all faith communities, we have people from all walks of life. But what we've done in Durban and Pietermaritzburg and KZN, we brought together Palestine solidarity activist organizations together. And under that banner, Witness to a Year of Genocide, we are planning all these events. We said, let's move away from being individual like per our organization. There are people that are not part of an organization, but they're active in Palestine solidarity, wanting no fame or name. And so this is our campaign. So we are calling on every person in Durban and its surrounding areas to join us tomorrow at 1:30 in Umhlanga for our mass Durban Mass March. On Sunday, we're having a motorcade, part of observing the 1 year, and it will start from Overport Secondary School. And we want to, because we don't have a good profile of the U.S. Consul General in Durban. They are situated in a building on the 30th floor and above, and our demonstration there is not what it should be. So what we've decided is to take our motorcade via the Consul General's house in Durban North, and that's what we're going to do on Sunday. And Monday, we are going to have a picket outside the Durban Jewish Center, the Holocaust Museum, and we've engaged with all stakeholders to come on board and be on the right side of history. We are engaging with our mayor of Durban to find a park space to do some planting in the month of October. We've got Cinema Solidarity with us, who are going to look at having films in this month. And so as activists and having a personal profile also, I am the South African coordinator of the Global Network on Religions for Children. And it is paramount that I stand up for children, for Palestine, and any inequalities that are taking place. It is just not Palestine, Gaza, Lebanon, but it's for the rest of the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us that we should not take revenge, and especially if it is on the wrong way. But we as peace activists, we stand together in solidarity with Gaza, Palestine, and we've done this over decades, long before our democracy. And so we want to shout out loud and call on people to support every initiative in our country and globally that's taking place starting today until the whole month, and we go on. What we must also remember, 4th of October starts the International Week of Resisting Genocide. So people can do campaigns, to suit their time, their space, and support. So like we in KZN have been supporting Cape Town's Parliament March, because we know that is the most important and most vital event for South Africa. We are also supporting the campaign that will be on Sunday in Lenasia, and so we want to be taken seriously as South Africans, not just with our government, but civil society. And we all know that the DNA of us being a pre-apartheid country, we have the most clout to stand up against the atrocities that are, and genocide and the Holocaust that's taking place in Gaza, Palestine, Lebanon. And as we look at what the Zionists are doing in Lebanon, they are not sitting still. They are doing bad in West Bank and other parts of the Middle East. And I think as civil society, as activists, we have a role to play, and our role is very big. And our role is double being South Africans. You know, everywhere in the world, there's campaigns for from the 4th to the 13th, but we have taken it into our stride to say that enough is enough. We want America and Britain to call for a permanent ceasefire. And I hope that by now, reaching a year of observing the genocide, these countries who we thought were superpowers are not superpowers. And I would refer them to what the Quran calls those that are dumb, deaf, and blind. Summum, bukmun, umyun, fahum la yarji'un. And
yes, Saidun, sorry, I can I just stop you? I just need to go for a quick ad break, and I'd like to bring Roshan in into the discussion, and just to look at it from a
sure.
SABDS coalition perspective. But shukran for that and for your time with us as well, Saidun.
Thank you.
of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042 203 1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Al Bayt Lodge, your true home away from home. Al Bayt is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities. Conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities, your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Al Bayt has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albaytlodge.co.za.
Connect and stay ahead with Salam Media. This is Salam Media, coming to you live from South Africa.
Well, we continue with our broadcast this morning, taking a look ahead at the solidarity with the people of Palestine ahead of the first anniversary of this genocidal war. And I quite like what I'm looking at the SABDS coalition's banner, calling the United States and Israel genocidal twins. And also, when one looks at Joe Biden, referred to very, very popularly as Genocide Joe, and appropriately as well, having this protest action at the U.S. consulate out in Senton Drive, and hopefully we almost certain that this name will be changed to Leila Khalid Avenue. And we're joined now by SABDS Coalition's Roshan Dadu. Roshan, welcome as always, and we do appreciate your time.
Thank you, and it's great to hear from the comrades around the country all the amazing actions that are being planned.
Well, clearly, in fact, a lot has been working, I would say, and also in the last year, where we see this relentless aggression that has been taken place against the people of Palestine with the genocide that has unfolded. But again, we have not stopped. The SABDS coalition has not stopped. The BDS movement hasn't stopped as well, and it will not stop tomorrow. We will see this protest action, and not only tomorrow, but beyond tomorrow, beyond October the 7th. And it is hitting home. It's hitting home very, very hard, because the other day, Roshan, I was actually just following some of the developments in terms of Israel and the economy and this occupying entity that is suffering as a result of this genocide, where even I've heard professionals, 3 times the amount of professionals in large numbers, that are actually leaving this occupying entity in droves. So something is working economically. It is hurting very, very hard.
Absolutely. In fact, the Israeli economy is really tanking. It was downgraded again recently. And I think, as you say, professionals are leaving. People are not wanting to remain there, because obviously it's the least safe place for Jewish people in the world, the Zionist state. But tomorrow, just to get back to the actions that are coming up as we mark 1 year of genocide, and I think you're right also that around the world and in South Africa, the mobilizations, the pressure on the Israeli economy through calls for the boycott, divestment, and ultimately sanctions are beginning to bite. It's beginning to work. But as you also said, the US, as we know, is the genocidal twin. It would be impossible for the Zionist entity, given its economy is in tatters, to be able to open up new fronts in its genocidal war without the weapons, the finance, and the support from the United States. And so we want to be there at the US consulate tomorrow. Number 1, Leila Khalid Drive, or formerly known as Santon Drive, from 12 o'clock till 2 o'clock. We've got a whole list of people who'll be sharing their inputs with us from the Lebanese community, from the Palestinian community, from trade unions, from South African communities that are coming from across Gauteng and even beyond to join us tomorrow. Because we know that if one thing could stop this in fact now threat to world peace from the Zionist state, it is the United States, and we want to put pressure on them. But equally, as we're doing that, we're very pleased that our comrades in Cape Town will be marching to Parliament and making the demands that we need to make on our government, because now it's actually a legal obligation following both the ICJ rulings as well as the United Nations General Assembly vote, which the majority of countries in the world voted to implement the ICJ rulings to put pressure to end the impunity by imposing arms embargoes, trade embargoes, and international targeted sanctions. But we know that South Africa has not yet taken any of these measures. We still trade. The coal that we export, we're now, in fact, the second largest exporter of coal, given that Colombia, the first exporter, they have declared that they will no longer be selling coal to Israel. And we need to put pressure on our government, as was said by Comrade Yusuf Chikte, and on our parliament to end this trade, end the coal sales, to block the boats, not allow docking permits for ships carrying weapons to Israel or for Israeli-owned shipping companies like Zimlines to dock. We managed to get Namibia and Angola, actually, to stop docking rights for a ship that was confirmed to be carrying explosives, RTX explosives, 8 containers heading for Israel. Now, given the actions of people in solidarity around the world, we've managed to stop them docking around our Southern Africa coast. We've managed to stop this ship docking so far, even further up the coast. And now comrades are mobilizing in Croatia, in Montenegro, in countries where it looks like this ship is heading towards. But certainly we do have the power to really act against the weapons arriving if we can get our government to, which it has a legal clause to do so, to stop these shipping permits. Also, comrades in Portugal have made a huge noise. They have managed, just yesterday it was announced, to get a ban on airspace, the use of Portuguese airspace for weapons being flown. And of course, Portugal is in between America and if you are heading towards the Middle East. So that's another victory, and it's all people pressure. And so we're sure that people in South Africa are going to be upping the pressure as we enter the second year, unbelievable, unthinkable, of the horrific genocide. And as we see now that it being extended into Lebanon, not only tomorrow at the US consulate, but on Sunday there's the annual walk for Palestine that's being organized, as was mentioned, in Rose Park in Lenasia, and there'll be a whole program of speakers and cultural items. The universities are back in action, both on Wits campus and University of Pretoria. There's plans for actions throughout the week. There's also on Sunday a multi-faith prayer vigil being held at Regina Mundi, the church that was iconic in our own struggle in Soweto. And we're also going to be having a discussion, an important discussion with comrades in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is the current president of the UN Security Council. And it's important that we link up with comrades around the continent to see how we can collectively put pressure on our governments and collectively use these important diplomatic spaces. I also just wanted to mention quickly that there's a whole range of events happening at Nelson Mandela University as well. They're having resistance and art poster making. They're having discussions. They've got speakers from Beersite University. They've also got they've got Ronnie Castrol speaking at one of the events. So it looks like, and they're having a mass march on Saturday as well from the park adjacent to Wales. Oh, sorry, that's in KZN. So there's a whole range of activities happening across the country.
Yes, Roshan. In fact, we're obviously looking at it, and as Salam Media, we're obviously following all these developments, all these activities that are taking place right across the entire country, and hopefully we will be present at some of them. I'm sure we will be at the one in Pretoria. We'll be sending out representatives out to Cape Town as well, and also to the PSA one, the one taking place in Lenasia. So it promises to be a huge weekend. It promises to be a very, very big weekend. But once again, I think, and Saidun and Roshan as well, just to get some final comments. We cannot stop. We cannot stop on October the 7th. We need to still continue as we have been. We need to be as relentless as this aggression has been, as this genocide has been, and we cannot rest. We cannot stop for 1 minute, and these obviously are occasions that once again revive that struggle, revive the sacrifices of the people of Palestine, and to recognize that the world will not be free until Palestine is free. And Palestine, Gaza, will change this world. Gaza has the potential of even defining what a new world order needs to look like. So just final comment from you, Saidun, perhaps in a minute or two, and then we'll get to Roshan before we terminate this broadcast. Saidun, I think you are muted.
Yes, sorry about that. I think it's very important that with our protest actions and our marches, the biggest and the most boldest and the most beautiful thing we as South Africans can do is to go on the boycott campaign. And this 4th to the 13th is also International Boycott Day and Week. So for us to cause mayhem, and Roshan has spoken about it, that what's happening in Israel is the forces in the boycott, divestment and sanctions that will cripple the economy, and so they will be left in the lurch. And like you have rightfully said, every Friday, Durban, Cape Town and Johannesburg have Fridays for Palestine. And many people have asked us, South Africa's government has taken Israel to the ICJ, we have taken them to the ICC. Why are you South Africans still picketing and protesting? We will not stop, and we've increased on one of the slogans, we said 9, 10, 11, 12, take their product off their shelves. 13, 14, 15, 16, we will not stop until the freedom of Palestine. So this is within every South African. And I think we need to bring this home to say we were there, and international solidarity and boycotts have led to our democracy, and we need to do the same for our sisters, brothers, communities, all faiths in Gaza, Palestine, and the Middle East, inshallah. Ameen.
Shukran for that. Roshan, just final thought from you.
Yes, well, our message is that we know that the Palestinian liberation struggle didn't start on the 7th of October last year, but we are using this date, the date that the Zionist states launched this genocidal campaign, to recommit, to remobilize ourselves, to take further action going forward. And exactly as has been said, to really press home the need for boycotts, consumer boycotts against Israeli products, against targeted shops that we know are directly involved in supporting the genocide in Israel, to put pressure on those companies, to put pressure on our government to take action, to call for a sports boycott, call for a cultural boycott, and importantly, call for a trade embargo, because we cannot be breaking the very international law that we have helped to achieve at the ICJ and in the General Assembly by being complicit in selling coal, particularly, which fuels the genocide. It fuels the Israeli electricity grid, which fuels the illegal occupation, which fuels the genocide. And so we really need to keep up the pressure and really, really working with all the comrades around the continent, around the world, make sure that the people who have power to press their governments can do so.
Well, Roshan, thank you very much for that. And also to you, Saydun, as well. We do appreciate your time and all the best with all the events that are taking place. And once again, we're looking forward to being part and parcel of these events at Salam Media as well. I'm sure we will be providing a fair amount of coverage over the next few days. But for now, we thank both of you. Please take care. Have a wonderful day as well. And Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much.
Well, that was a discussion with the various organizations right across the entire country: Durban, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Pretoria, many, many events that will be taking place this week. And today, starting off, Salam Media will be in Pretoria this afternoon. The Neon Walk that is taking place in Pretoria. Tomorrow, we will be out in Lenasia as well, and also sending a team out to Cape Town to join the PSC in Cape Town on their action as well. So all of this, stay with us on Salam Media, follow the developments across the country this weekend, and also in the build-up to the 7th of October, which is on Monday, where Salam Media will be dedicating an entire day commemorating the genocide that is unfolding and the aggression that is taking place against the people of Palestine. So stay with us. But for now, have yourself a wonderful Friday, inshallah. It is a blessed day of Jummah. Continue making dua, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant ease to the people of Palestine, but more importantly, and also Lebanon, and also all those who are suffering as a result of all the injustice and all the aggression, all the oppression that is taking place. So continue raising your hands in dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are special moments on this day of Jummah when du'as are accepted. Let us utilize this opportunity. Well, next up, we're going to be wrapping up and introducing Africa Muslims Agency. And just to remind you that this hour of news and views was sponsored by Africa Muslims Agency. Africa Muslims Agency, a beacon of hope to communities for over 35 years in Africa and beyond. And the topic this morning was fired up with Hafiz Imran Chunara, CEO of Africa Muslims Agency, is don't ever believe that you are self-made. Have yourself a wonderful Jummah, and don't forget, recite abundant durood on our beloved Master Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So from myself in the team, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Muslims Agency